This is the Quality Inn in College Park, Maryland, at the end of Calvert Road. It's pretty nice.
Built on a heritage of strong values, sound advice, exceptional service, and always striving to do the right thing for clients and communities. We invite you to experience the BB&T difference today. BB&T, best bank in town since 1872. Hold your head down, lean to the side, throw your hands up high, and play the DC fly. Hold your head back, yeah, lean to the side. We make it say, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me,
Play the DC Lotteries and Nicholas Numbers game. DC 5.
Unless the glasses can perform miracles, don't pay more than you have to.
Some Democratic senators have introduced legislation that would require states to ban texting while driving, or facing 25% cut in their annual highway budget. Recent studies have shown texting and driving is more dangerous than drunk driving. You'll still be able to text and email while in a stop car. 14 states and D.C. have passed laws making texting while driving illegal already. Critics argue enforcing the law is going to be nearly impossible.
The housing market is finally bouncing back, but there is a brand new wrinkle in buying or selling a home that could end up killing your
And
deal.
over there
Fox 5 Money reporter Melanie Allman explains
is the University of Maryland.
At this Vienna townhouse, it feels like real estate's on a roll again.
And that's Route 1.
Hamilton's home for sale 1 day ago. There's a
And
sign on
Applebee's, of
already,
course.
and still interested buyers are calling.
Outstanding. Thank you. Okay, bye.
I'm about to walk over to the grocery store to pick up some antihistamine
He's
to
asking
help with my poison ivy that's itching.
Now they have to keep their fingers crossed for the